Hola, amigos. Buenos dias, Mazatlan. This is Teddy here, and today we're going to take you on a journey to the Observatorio 1873 up on the hill in beautiful Mazatlan, Mexico. And just a few thoughts before we get into the main part here. You'll see the main entrance there. I suggest that you probably take a pulmonía or a taxi, as there is very limited parking. But it's easy to get there by taxi or pulmonía. Um, just a note, we spent a couple hours up there, so we didn't really see exactly everything that there is to see. So I suggest that you make it a point to spend, the better part of a day up there, so that you can see every exhibit. This first area that you come into is the main entrance, and you walk into the ticket office, and they have a gift shop, and et cetera, et cetera. A lot of nice looking souvenirs. Um, Keep in mind that they're changing exhibits. Now they do have a brand new one that has opened up called Moonba. And that's a combination of two words, actually. Mundo, meaning world, and ballena, which is whale. So we will see the world of whales. As you can see in the film there, at some point soon, they're going to open up the zip line. But at this point, it's not open for the public, but it's supposed to be in the process. I don't know where they are in that process, um, whether it opened and then closed, but rumor has it that there's going to be something happening with the zip line. As you can see right now, we're headed up the hill, and to get up to the top, you can walk. There are stairs if you want to do that, but the more popular way is to jump in the funicular lift and take that up to the top, which we are doing right now. It's a beautiful, beautiful ride. Off to the left there, you see those are private homes, so don't wander out that way. But what a view! What a view when you're up here. Very, very good. You can see why they built an observation post in this location. You can see across to El Faro, the lighthouse. But this would give you, uh, as a military post, which basically is how this started out, it gives you a great vantage point to be able to control your harbor and know when somebody's trying to invade. Um, One of the first things that happens when you get into the gift shop and the ticket office, there's a little room next door where they go in and show you a brief, I don't know, it's about 10 or 15-minute film about the history of the observatory. I would suggest uh, be sure to take that in because it gives you some facts that not a lot of people know. I did not realize that the U.S. Navy had a presence here at one point in the 1800s, I believe, or the early 1900s. I can't remember. The downside is you can't film in that little movie room. They don't want you to take film. But anyway, here we are. We get to the top of the funicular, and you walk out into these beautiful grounds with nice tables set up, so you can sit up here, relax. There is a, a snack bar. There's actually the Sky Bar, and they do have another place where you can grab a coffee or a beverage. And the Sky Bar restaurant actually has, regular dinners and things. Another thing I might suggest is that you get there and plan on staying until sunset. We did not do that at this point, but I would suggest doing that because you get a great view of the sunset from the Sky Bar area, or any place up here actually, but the Sky Bar in particular. They do have docents and staff that will help point out certain things. They will give you directions on what is located and where it's located. The first thing we did was just take a walk on the grounds here, and we noticed that they were set up for a special event. It happened to be a wedding, and what a beautiful place for something like that. As we were getting ready to leave uh, in the afternoon, the wedding had happened, and all the people were heading up to their reception area, which was on a lawn outside of the actual observatory building. But very beautiful location for that. As you move to this side of the property, um, you get towards that private property area, so you don't go that way. But the first thing we're going to hit here, we decided to go visit the iguana exhibit, or I call it the Day of the Iguanas, Dia de las Iguanas. And they have this really neat entrance going down, and then they have a very nice walkway through the foliage and through the trees, and they have a place down below, an area down below set off so that the iguanas they don't get up into the trees and jump on you. I kept looking for iguanas in the trees when we first went in, but they're all down below. There's also in this area, you can see it pretty much off to the left. As you walk down, that you will see some koi fish ponds and what have you. But it's very lush and green back here. Very cool, actually. Plus, they have fans strategically located throughout the area. You can get a little bit of relief in case there is heat and humidity. Now, on this day, we didn't have any issues. It was quite a beautiful day. But here we are walking the walkway, headed down to take a look at the iguanas. Most of you, if you've been here for any length of time, you're used to seeing iguanas, kind of in their natural state. I know down about a block from my apartment, actually less than a block, there's a park. And there's a family of iguanas living in the park. And you basically see them, you can see them daily in the trees, what have you. And so here we are. We were looking to see if there were any in the trees, but then we looked down below, and as you can see, we'll find them here. There we go. You see one red and one green hanging out together. So, but there's a lot of them down there. They have a lot of iguanas down there, and they have it set so that they can't get out of their little area unless they can jump about 4 or 6 feet high, off the ground. But yeah, they try to keep them out of the trees, obviously. As you move past that area, you come to a cage with some tropical birds. Now, this is not the actual aviary. This is basically a sanctuary for rescued tropical birds. And my understanding is that what happens is these birds were illegally brought into the country, and they get confiscated, and so they have them here to keep them safe and secure, and to rescue them from bad homes or whatever. Very beautiful birds, very beautiful birds. I feel bad for them, but at least they're well cared for here. They have food, they have shelter, and they just have to get gawked at every day. But uh, they are safe. And the aviary itself now is in a different area of the property, and we were not uh, there in enough time to go into the aviary. That's one thing I would like to do at a different time, because the birds in the aviary are basically flying around free, and they'll come land on you and stuff like that. And they only allow a certain number of people in at a time. Um, so if that's something you want to see, make sure you get over there probably early in your day, and get to see that. And as you move past that sanctuary for the tropical birds, there is a location right down on the ground level for the tortoise, or the tortuga. And unfortunately, this was the middle of the day, and our buddy Tommy Turtle there is hanging out underneath in the shade. He's in that little stone cave-like thing there. You could tell he's quite a large tortoise, but he was moving. He was hanging out, and he did lift his head up, but he just during the day didn't come out. Um, but it would be neat to see. I have no idea how old this tortoise is, but as we all know, they can live to be quite old. Um, Now, here's the exhibit I was talking about at the beginning, Moonba, the world of whales. Mundo Ballenas. And this is a new exhibit. Apparently, what we were told, it's only been open now for about a month or so. And it is an interactive walk through the world of whales. So when you go to each little exhibit, they have it set up in different rooms, and you can go, and they will have information on the walls, but they will also have screens there that you can touch, and it will give you information about what you're seeing, and about how the habitat of the different whales, and it also goes into dolphins. You will learn a lot, and it's also, you can request it in English or Spanish. So, if you're a non-Spanish speaker, you'll be fine. They also have the guides and the docents who speak some English, and they're very helpful, and they will walk you through and get you pointed in the right direction as you enter into the various areas of this exhibit. I suggest that you give this exhibit quite a bit of time. There is in one part of the exhibit, there's a location that's sort of specifically designed for children. It's like a little library, kind of, with the little tables and chairs and books about whales and stuff like that. So if you have young ones, that's not a bad place to bring them. I could certainly picture that they have school groups that come there, and check that out. But it's a very well done presentation of information on whales. They do have whale skeletons. Now, according to our guide, this one is a real one. They have some up in the other exhibits that are I don't know, plastic or something, but they're put together to look like a real one. But according to our guide, this one is supposedly a real one. So who knows? But you will learn a good bit about whales and whaling, and of course, it's an incredible view from this side of the grounds. You get a nice view of the port, and we'll see that in just a bit as we move forward. But it's a lovely exhibit. Again, take your time as you walk through it. Um, check check with the stuff on the wall. They'll usually have it written in Spanish and in English, and the like I say, the digital screens, are in both Spanish and English. There's a view of the port, the Puerto de Mazatlan.
Esta sala se llama De Vuelta al Mar. Les voy a platicar un poco los interactivos que tenemos, ¿ok?
So this is interactive, okay? Sí.
Este interactivo nos muestra, bueno, en inglés,
Oh,
the information, the ancestor of dolphins of well.
This exhibit goes into the Society of the Dolphins. They are obviously we've probably all heard this. They're one of the most intelligent of the sea mammals. They form groups and families and a basic society. Now, the one thing that I thought was interesting, and I'm not an expert on sea life or whatever, but I found it interesting on one of the exhibits. It was about orcas, or what we call killer whales, and what this exhibit said is that they're not an orca is not really actually a whale. It is the largest species of dolphin. I did not realize that. Now, you know. So yeah, if that's a true fact, that's something I learned from this little trip. And now they have a little exhibit of the the wheel and the engine controls for one of the whaling ships. And then there's a story on the wall over here about a particularly large whale that had been very friendly, basically to boats and whatever, but then began to be hunted, and obviously became very, very much a battle. Became very, very animated. And it is said, the belief is that the number of battles that the whaling ships had with this one particular whale actually ended up being written in a journal by one of the sailors, or a story that a sailor told to a writer. He wrote about this battle with the whales, and that became the basis for Herman Melville's novel Moby Dick. In fact, the name they had given to this other whale was Mochi Dick. Yeah. So, it's interesting where that the tale of Moby Dick actually did come from a story about this whale encounter that turned into a bunch of battles, trying to kill that whale. And yeah, they as we go through, this is the information about the whale. What they were hunting these whales for, obviously, is they would the whale blubber was basically used for oil. So I guess in the ultimate end of this battle, when they finally got this whale, they got over 100 barrels of the whale oil out of it. One of the last things we did is a ceremony, and this is our ceremony leader here. Her name, I believe, was Marisol. She does a depiction of an ancient Mayan sort of a ritual, if you will, that involves the cocoa seed or the cocoa bean. And it is a ceremony that allows you to get in contact with your roots and your being. And it was very interesting. Well, that's it for today. That was just a small sample of the observatory. I suggest you take it in while you're here. This is Teddy thanking you guys for watching. Buenos dias, Mazatlan. Comment, suggestions, just shoot us an email or leave them here. But for now, I'll just say, adios, amigos. Buenos dias, Mazatlan.